Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Good day, welcome to your news at noon on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. Dutch shipbuilder SBM Offshore is making moves to deepen its Guyanese roots as it recently issued a request for information from qualified companies to develop a gated community and a recreational facility for its employees. SBM issued the RFI on behalf of its subsidiary, Guyana Deepwater Operations, Inc., which is also the operator of the Liza Destiny and Liza Unity FPSO vessels. It said the proposals received will be assessed for Guyanese content development since this is a key factor to the success of its operation. It further noted that companies answering the RFI will have to present their involvement for the Guyana community and/or any involvement in a sustainability project or development in Guyana. Meanwhile, the Bank of Guyana disclosed yesterday that the Natural Resource Fund's closing balance at the end of September 2022 stood at just over $1 billion. These funds were deposited into the Natural Resource Fund account held at the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. As a result of an additional FPSO, that is to say the Liza Unity, being in operation, more lifts were made and hence more profit oil was received compared to previous quarters. And in other news, just around noon on Monday, a speedboat transporting a group of local athletes from Parika to Suriname sank in the vicinity of Truly Island on the Essequibo River. It is understood that the athletes are from Maruka, Region 1. They had participated in this year's Amerindian Heritage Games that culminated on Sunday and were on their way home. Commander of Regional Division 3 Mahendra Sunarayan, who confirmed the incident yesterday, said that as a result of the mishap, no one was injured. He explained that the boat was part of a large fleet that left Parika for Suriname, and in the vicinity of Truly Island, it began to take in water. As a result of this, he said the captain signaled to the other boats and they grounded at the island where the passengers were placed in the other boats. An investigation has since been launched into the incident. And moving on, having received some $3.2 billion in this year's budget for the continued development of sport in the country, the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport is preparing to spend part of its allocation to the rehabilitation of the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall, located along Homestretch Avenue, Georgetown. The ministry, in an invitation for bids, stated that works on the sports hall are estimated to cost the government $103.6 million. During the debate of this year's budget, it was reported in the media that some of the upgrades the facility will have are to its seating section, whereby the seats will be upgraded to bucket seats, and also works on the flooring of the facility, just to name a few. Meanwhile, under pressure to create business opportunities for locals within the oil and gas sector, President Ali on Sunday announced that he is pushing for the creation of a catering consortium to tap into the supply of food and other services to the industry. He told a forum at Legwan on Sunday that Guyana could soon see local chefs directly benefiting from the oil and gas sector with the establishment of a consortium of cooks supplying food and food items to vessels. Ali on Sunday disclosed that he has called for the formation of the body to prepare chefs from across the country to tap into the massive opportunity. And just before we head to a short break, let's tell you that for cancer, many low-income patients accessing radiation therapy in Guyana can cost a fortune. According to the founder of the Guyana Cancer Foundation, Ms. Bibi Sahida Akhtar Hassan, the heavy cost associated with radiation therapy has seen many persons suffering in silence. She said many patients bypass the treatment because they cannot afford it and eventually succumb to the disease. However, the GCF founder said that the organization is hoping to bring about a change in this regard. Along with its list of breast cancer awareness activities for October, Hassan said the GSF is also lobbying government to support the establishment of a low-income radiation therapy center to subsidize costs for cancer patients who struggle to afford the vital treatment. You're listening to Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and of course 99.5 FM. The time is now 12 hours 8. We'll return after the break.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
Welcome back. Let us continue with the news. The Environmental Protection Agency has been failing in its mandate to protect the country as oil and gas production takes off. But in addition to that, the body has also not been transparent with citizens as information relating to the sector is lacking in various regards. This is according to Shadow Natural Resources Minister David Patterson, who explained that the agency must do better. He was at the time fielding questions from the media at a picketing exercise on Friday organized by a group of public-spirited citizens or Guyanese who were demanding that the agency respond to a letter it received since August last, in which 54 persons raised serious environmental safety concerns. As part of its ambitious campaign to propel home ownership in Guyana, the government is seeking suppliers that can aid in the distribution of construction materials across all 10 administrative regions in the country. The Ministry of Housing and Water, through the Central Housing and Planning Authority, explained that steps that will be taken involved in the process. President Ali had announced in July, during the launch of the Building Expo 2022, that first-time homeowners would be eligible for free steel and a sling of cement to start building the foundation of their home. According to the expression of interest that invited suppliers to submit proposals for the provision of the building materials, applicants for the program will be qualified by the Housing Authority, which will then issue a voucher to the successful applicant. And in other news, a female sales representative attached to a Chinese supermarket in Bath Settlement, West Coast Berbice, was recently assaulted by PPPC activist Ossie Rogers. 31-year-old Kamala Barrett of Bath Settlement, West Coast Berbice, relayed that she was working at the supermarket while Rogers was a customer when the incident took place. Rogers reportedly slapped the woman and gun-butted her. The incident was caught on a surveillance camera. Rogers, who has since left the country despite an active investigation, posted on Facebook that he will be issuing a statement in relation to the matter today. And with that, we've come to the end of your main newscast for today. However, just before we go, we have to turn the pages of today's Kaieteur News dedicated to being blunt. Biting off more than we can chew. Guyana is going to choke from the rush to approve all these oil projects. Considering our novice state with this oil wealth of ours, it is the equivalent of this country not having teeth to chew properly. So we end up endangering ourselves. It makes perfect sense for us to recognize how little we know, how few are the people we have with the required skills to watch out for us and protect our interest in this new and vast oil sector. It is better for leaders to slow down, take stock of where we are, and then chart a common sense course from there. The problem is that none of the senior people in the PPPC government is listening or gives a hoot about any of this. And that brings us to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.